Welcome back to episode 5 of Border Crossing. This is part 2. That was a complete unmitigated disaster. I got off at what's the wrong exit. It was not the right exit. And so my grand plan to go to Vons to get a gallon of milk or whatever I was supposed to get completely crashed and burned because I got off on the wrong exit and I couldn't get back on the 5 South. So I was on Main Street, which I cut all the way across to 805. So I just decided to keep going straight and make my way over to 805 and take that down now into Mexico. And what a pain, dude. I probably added 20 minutes to my trip with this stupidity here. Anyway, I'm back on track here, I think, and I'll be hopping on the 805 now, going south into Tijuana. This whole the 805 thing really annoys the crap out of me. It's one of these local things. I mean, come on, it's I-805, I-5, what you can call it any other place, but it's California, it's got to be all pretentious or whatever. But it's funny because you pick up these terms even though you think they're stupid, which they are, especially in California. And but now I say it all the time too, the 5, the 805, whatever, so apologies for that, but I'm being a local, I guess. So anyways, I just hopping back on 805 here. Now it's probably only it's really close to the border now. This actually is, I think, that exit 2, I believe. Could be wrong, maybe it's 3, I don't know. No economy for exit numbers now, apparently. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I completely screwed that up. Added 20 minutes to my trip for no reason. I got a gallon of milk. I paid $5.50 for a gallon of milk at a 7-Eleven, dude. And it probably cost $2 at the regular store. I don't know, but man, that's a pricey gallon of milk. Now here's Palm Avenue exit 2, which I don't want to get off now, actually. Like I said, that's a convenient exit to get off, to get all kinds of stuff you need. It's right by the border. Past exit 2, once you get to the exit 1s, there's 3 exit 1s, B, C, B, and A. There's nothing really all that great on any of them. It starts to get kind of seedy, a little bit on the seedy side. I mean, not bad, but it's a little on the seedy side. And there's not a lot of very nice, I don't know how to call them. It's more like convenience stores and such. And they've been really high prices and crap, so sometimes. Anyways, I don't use those exits very often, because I have to. Although I used to I had to get off there at exit 1A all the time, because we had a car parked there in the parking lot. That's now done. We've now gotten both our cars out of the parking lots on both sides of the border. We've also closed our last storage locker. That was kind of an adventure getting that locker closed down. We had a shotgun, actually tied to a shotgun in the locker. Now, actually, apparently that's now illegal to have a gun in a storage locker in California, and it just passed a law, or at least in this area. Anyway, we had to do something with it, right? So we couldn't bring it into Mexico. We looked into all kinds of different options. There's no way to get any sort of a gun of any type into Mexico unless it's like a 1800s era musket rifle or some shit. Even that, you're gonna have a hard time getting into the country because they just don't allow it. And we had a bow, we had a compound bow and a crossbow as well that we had to get into the country. And that's actually a questionable one. Now here's Tijuana, you can see, and you'll see right when you come through, you can see the sprawling, the lights in the distance there. That's Tijuana. It's really kind of pretty, actually. Anyways, we weren't 100% certain on the appropriateness or legality of the crossbow and the compound bow. Many people said, yeah, you can do it, no problem, but just go for it, do it. But on the other hand, we're both trying to get residency. My wife just got residency. I'm trying to get residency in Mexico. We don't want to do anything to jeopardize any of that stuff. So we didn't want to take any chances. So what we decided to do was so with the bows, we decided to disassemble the crossbow, so it looks very, very innocuous, and then declare it also when we cross the border. So we declared that and the compound bow as we went across, which is a whole other process. That's just a crazy, totally opaque process, which I'll talk about it at some point, because it's important that you know it if you're going to live down here, how you actually declare stuff at the border going into Mexico. It is not at all clear what you're supposed to do. As with many things in Mexico, there's no instructions. And it's not like they don't want to help you. A lot of times they don't speak English, of course. They're not trying to actively, mess with you or anything, or make it intentionally hard, I don't think. It just is, though, because there's no, how things flow is ridiculous. I'll talk about that maybe next time we do this. Declaring stuff into Mexico. But anyway, the shotgun, though, was a bigger problem, because obviously we could not bring that. We thought about selling it, all kinds of other stuff, but it turns out you can't just ship a gun anywhere. You can ship a gun, but it has to go. The person that receives it has to have a license actually to receive a weapon in the mail. And so we had to find. And unfortunately, I have a friend who has such a license, and so it worked out in the end. We were able to ship the gun to him, and he just got it today. I just got confirmation he got it, so I know it made it up. Okay, so we have that gun now somewhere in Florida. which is nowhere near where it needs to be, I think, because I'm going to try to get it over to my folks' house, I think, at some point back in Kentucky. But anyway, so approaching the border now. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to keep the camera on here for a reasonable amount of time, and I'm going to turn it off right when I cross, because, again, I don't know what the actual regulations are as far as recording at the border here, even going into Mexico. And again, I don't want to take any chances as far as jeopardizing my residency application or whatever, so I'm going to be pretty conservative here. I'm just going to turn off the camera as we get through the first portion of the process here, and I'll turn it right back on after I get across. All right, talk to you in just a bit. 2 seconds.